understanding of English language and common sense dictates that one is not being done in the course of commission of the other. They're separate and independent acts, and we would object to any felony murder instruction under that theory, under the theory that the state advances. Yeah. Okay. Bring it back.
Counsel, I haven't sufficiently read and digested the Lynch decision. I wasn't aware that this was going to be an issue. So as to this portion, my thought is I'm going to defer ruling right now. But before we go further, what my thought process is, I think the defense is right. So I don't know. I need to research it further and find out. But it seems to me that the way I read the case and what Mr. Howard indicated is correct.
Your Honor, you have the Pierce case as well, the state provided this morning.
Well, the Pierce case I'm familiar with. I've seen that case before and read it before. That's a little different.
That one says that the state does not have to prosecute or does not have to allege in an indictment both premeditated murder and felony murder.
Correct.
And so that's the state's position, is that the state can then still go forward on both theories based on the Pierce case as well as Lynch. And the interesting part in the Lynch case, here in the state would point out, is in Lynch, the court specifically cites to 782.04 sub 1 sub A sub 2 sub O, murder of another human being, not kidnapping, as the predicate felony on that. And here in the state would submit that in this case, there is clear evidence that, especially with regards to the count 2, the victim Christopher Thomas, that it would be during the course of the murder of Anthony Williams, which was a premeditated homicide, that specifically with regards to Christopher Thomas, that was the animal in the back seat, that there was a defensive wound, if I recall, that would be during the course of the murder of Anthony Williams, Christopher Thomas was injured.
Thank you. So, Andy, I'm going to defer ruling on it. I want to read the cases. I haven't. I want to read the Lynch case over.
We understand that, and I appreciate that. Just to the extent that the court does process the information and comes back, we would have some retort to what the state said at that time. I think now would be premature, or if you wish to hear it now. That's
I wish to hear this.
Okay.
I'm just going to end up ruling on it and
Okay.
sending an email out.
Makes sense. Well, first of all, I'm not sure that the medical examiner, matter of fact, I am sure that the medical examiner did not establish which of the two decedents was shot first. That's one. And this issue of a defensive wound that came out of the mouth of Christopher Williams, the sergeant, contradicts the testimony of their medical examiner that said the headshot was the first shot. And so the state is trying to ride both horses at the same time. If the state has receded to the position that at least the second person who was shot, there is a felony murder charge for that person, we would take the position that the state has not presented any evidence that would rise to the level of reliability, let alone proof beyond a reasonable doubt, as to which person was shot first. The medical examiner couldn't say, and Christopher Williams had his wild speculative theories that contradict the testimony of the medical examiner as to Christopher Thomas's first shot, which is in the side of the face versus the finger. And so I don't think the state has laid the factual predicate to establish which of the two was shot first, in which case, if it's a position that they have now backed down to is, or as an alternative, I understand, is that, well, at least as to the second person, we would have a felony murder charge. Our contention is that you'd have to establish which one was, and they have not done so. Which of the two people was shot first? That's it, Your Honor. That's all I wanted to supplement with.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Defer ruling, take under advisement, and you'll hear from you.
The next, with which we take is your maybe we should just go in order because I now have them all scrambled.
Yes, I just keep an order, please.
Yes. What would the next?
But we had just completed, in both cases, count 1 and count 2, 7.2 premeditated murder, first degree.
Yeah, I can't figure out with the supplement, but with the next in order, the 3.9?
I think the next in order is the felony murder, which
Right.
I don't know, whether that's going to be given or not. I understand you object to it.
Okay,
And assuming that I deny your motion and I grant the felony murder, is there some language in 7.3 that you object to?
no. If it's, we object to it and it's in total.
All right, so assuming that it's I disagree with you, there's no other objection as to the form of the order?
No,
The
sir.
form of the instruction?
No,
All right,
Except for the games that were just previously argued as well.
we read. Yeah, we read. Yeah, the gang stuff, which we indicated goes through all of these instructions.
all right, and so, and that's for felony murder regarding both Mr. Thomas, the deceased Mr. Thomas, and Mr. Williams, correct?
Yes,
All right, so then the next issue that I have is 3.4, when there are lesser included crimes or attempts, are there?
Well, Judge, I know category 1 is second degree murder and manslaughter. The state's only requesting manslaughter, but I believe that's requesting second degree.
no, we're not.
So you would agree to take out second degree murder and with manslaughter.
All right, so as far as the manslaughter instruction, have you seen the form instruction, Mr. Howard?
I have seen what the state has proposed.
Is there any objection to that?
No,
No objection.
except for the gang stuff, to the extent that it exists.
All right, and I've already overruled the gang portion. That my understanding of the law, that gang issue also carries over to the other charges. The statute itself would apply.
Yes.
So your objection is noted as to the manslaughter charge regarding the gang, but that objection is overruled, and the state's going to take out second degree murder.
Correct. And I'll make a new 3.4.
3.4.
All right, so after the 7.7 manslaughter instruction, there's going to be 2 of those, one for Mr. Williams, one for Mr. Thomas, right?
Correct.
And the only objection is to the gang language, and I'm overruling that that objection. So I'll allow that. So the next instruction I have is 3.5A, principles. Is that what you have, Counsel?
Yes.
Any objection?
Not from the state.
It's a standard, we think that the instruction deviates from the evidence as proposed by the state and its theory. And for that reason, we believe it'll be confusing, but that's our only objection.
Judge, may I approach with a new 3.4?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just print them all for me, one shot, or email.
So, state which be heard regarding 3.5A, principles.
No, Judge, this is standard. We charged in the indictment, the principal statute, 777.011. We're alleging that the defendant and Cortland Henry are principals to the offenses, and the evidence supports and such.
So my only question was, I thought I saw the principal instruction actually in the body of prior instructions. Was that not the case? Did I miss something, or?
No, I think 3.5 is the, oh, yes, it's in the felony
Felony
murder.
murder.
Yes, it's in the felony murder because you have to allege the underlying felony, which is the argument. So essentially, you have to allege what the underlying felony was. So the underlying felony would be premeditated murder.
Okay,
And with respect to that, Your Honor, further to our argument, they would have to name who that person is, and they can't just pick one or the other. So, they have no evidence as to who was shot first. And so therefore, it actually underlies and addresses our point that the felony murder, even though they aren't put it in the indictment, the fact that they have to list it in their, jury instructions, and the underlying murder must be identified and they don't know which, it's a toss-up, is kind of further support for the fact that it should not be included.
thank you. So the next one I have is 3.7, plea of not guilty, reasonable doubt, and burden of proof, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there any objection? That's the standard, correct?
It's the standard, Judge.
No objection.
3.9, weighing the evidence, you took out one of the paragraphs I saw.
Yes, Judge, I took out the reputation, that there was no reputation, evidence, so we removed that.
Otherwise, it's the standard.
Only on this particular one, we removed, accessory or informants on that, so.
And then your copy. One more. So in the 1 to 10, I only removed the reputation. But on the second page of 3.9, accomplices.
I'm not hearing you, counsel, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was responding to counsel, but in 3.9, in the standard instructions, the only thing that was moved to the 1 through 10 was the reputation that I previously indicated. But on the second page, where it starts with expert witnesses, it's missing the paragraph regarding accomplices and informants, referring to Portland Henry.
What does that language say?
I'm gonna print it.
You had previously taken it out, you want to put it back in?
I missed it. Ms. Bradley's on it. So I didn't have her copy of it. And it's the standard version. My apologies.
No. You're good.
The big thick paragraph.
Yes. Regarding Portland Henry's statement that was read to the jury. And I just removed the second and third bracket, which says that he's been promised immunity or hopes to gain more favorable treatment, as those don't apply.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
With the inclusion of the language we believe to be appropriate. I think that it is entirely within the province of this jury to assume that Mr. Glass, Trayvon Fetty Glass, who testified behind the monitor and behind his dreadlocks, was here and was acting with a hope or expectation that he'll be favorably treated. So whereas we agree that it was not established that this state attorney offered him anything, his motivation for showing up because he thought he was going to go to jail if he didn't show up, and the manner in which he testified, his entire comportment suggests that he had some ulterior motive. And I think the jury should be instructed that if that is what they found, that it is relevant to their consideration. And they may well have gleaned that just from the entire totality of the manner in which he appeared here and the manner in which he testified.
Davis, you heard?
Judge, I have no objection, if they want it in, so you want me to put and or between those three brackets? Or. So for instance, the claim to help defendant commit a crime and or has been promised immunity from prosecution and or hopes to gain more favorable treatment.
Yes, that's fine.
Mr. Howard, any other objections to that instruction?
And to that instruction, no, sir.
So, Mr. Turner, I'm not trying to clear on this. I mean, you are saying the first one, that to help the defendant commit a crime could be applicable?
No.
Yeah.
No, we claim that is not.
So it should only be hopes to gain more favorable treatment in his or her own case. Would be the
Yes.
only one that applies. Okay, so we don't need to end or, we can just add it to the third one. Sure. For example, some claims.
Who has
Who has?
been promised immunity from prosecution or hopes to gain more favorable treatment.
In terms of that there's no evidence of immunity from prosecution. So if hopes to gain more favorable treatment, we would agree that should stay in, but there is no promise of immunity.
We can do it.
A witness who hopes to gain more favorable treatment. That's the only one that's, got it?
Mr. Howard, is that right?
Let me consult you. 1 second, please. Yes, sir, that's it. We're good.
For the with the,
Thank you.
The next one I have in my packet is 3.9, subsection A, defendant not testifying. That's the standard, correct?
yes, Judge.
Is there any objection?
No objection.
Then I have 3.9, subsection B, defendant's statement. It's a standard, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection?
We object, Your Honor, because we believe that this, I don't know, do I have to make an argument?
No objection, and I only put it in as a defendant's request.
3.9. The parties agree that it should not be.
Both sides agree to delete it.
Yes, Your Honor.
3.9B is deleted. Then I have 3.10, rules of deliberation. Any objection? That's a standard again, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection to it?
No, Your Honor, we would just request that in paragraph number 5, that it says, your duty is to determine if the defendant has been proven guilty or not. Instead of in accordance with law, that law is beyond a reasonable doubt. So we would ask that it read, your duty is to determine if the defendant has been proven guilty or not beyond a reasonable doubt.
They wish to be heard.
Judge, this is the standard instruction. We object to any special amendments.
The objection is sustained. That is the standard. 3.11, cautionary instruction. That's the form of the standard, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No, sir.
3.12, verdict. Any objection? It's the standard again, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection to it?
It would only be, I believe, as to the third paragraph, and that is only as it relates to, because it
Depending on your rule, Your Honor's rule.
depends upon your Honor's ruling concerning felony murder. But if the court rules in the defense's favor on that, then that would be a paragraph that would be excluded.
Yes. State agrees.
Yes, Judge, it would have to be modified, correct?
Then I have 3.12, A, subsection A, single defendant, multiple counts, 3.12, subsection A.
No objection.
No objection from the state.
All right, parties agree with, then I have the actual verdict form, and the problem with the verdict form is, again, second-degree murder has to come out right. And then the issue of felony, because you see it in there.
No, because it would be an alternative.
All right. Can I ask you a question regarding the interrogatories? Any objection to those?
No, Your Honor, but before we get to the interrogatory, that's the first part, so B comes out because we're going to take out second-degree murder. And we also believe that subsection D should be subsection A. That is more consistent with the presumption of innocence, that the jury be offered the option to find him not guilty first and not last.
Any state have any position on it? They wish to be heard.
Yes, Judge, we'd like it to remain as standard in all the standard jury instruction verdict forms.
Thank you. Objection notice overruled. Just leave the standard. Then I have 3.13, submitting the case to the jury. Is there any objection?
I think we're going to talk about these individual interrogatories first.
Oh, I thought you said you were okay.
No. Let me just,
Understood.
sorry. Let me come.
Regarding the interrogatories on the verdict form.
No objection.
No objection? All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 interrogatories with no objection. So, 3.13, that's submitting the case to the jury. That's again the standard. Is that right?
Yes, Judge.
Is there any objection to that?
Which one is this, Your Honor? I'm sorry.
3.13, 3.13. Submitting the case to the jury.
The only thing the state may suggest is that we would say that the exhibits will be sent into the jury room with you, with the exception of any that are biohazard or anything of that nature. And those will be available for review and open court.
And also the celebrate.
Yes.
8 to 64.
Yes. Well, and the state will provide a laptop for defense to review. It does not have access to the internet so that the jurors can review the items as they choose at their leisure, but I can tell you that the laptop the state will provide will not open the celebrate report. It's not.
Is that all right with the defense? Otherwise, if they want to see something, we just bring them back in here into the jury room, and counsel would have to make it available and get it up and running. Otherwise, we can send the computer back. It's up to you guys.
What, could I have one thing? Can we have a moment on this?
Yes. All right, so we'll just provide the computer, let them take a look at it before it goes back to the jury, make sure everybody agrees with that.
Yeah, last year on Thursday.
All right, so I owe you a ruling on felony murder. Is that it? Is that the only issue that I need to resolve?
I do believe in all related. Yes.
So I'll take care of that. I'll send out a letter, email to you today or tomorrow as soon as I resolve the issue in my own mind and finish reading the case. I mean, it's 38 pages. I haven't read it, so I'll read it and see if I can find any other cases on point. Oh, I trust you when you say these are the cases that are on point. That's it. So I'll look at that and see if I can come up with anything. And I intend to send an email out to all of you at the same time, just to tell you what my ruling is. Is that all right with everybody?
Okay.
That's fine. Will the state send us a finalized copy of the jury instructions?
We're gonna get to that in 2 seconds. That's what I want to have happen. Whatever my ruling is, to send them a set of instructions. And I want to know if the instructions don't meet with, if you're suggesting there's some issue that we need to resolve, I want everybody back here to resolve that issue tomorrow. All right, no ifs, ands, or buts. I don't want to be arguing about jury instructions before the jury comes in Thursday morning. So I'll get an answer to you today, and it's not going to take you much time to sort out whatever my ruling is, correct, Ms. Smith? So, and then you can get a set of instructions over to council, and how long would it take you to review those instructions?
Probably a half hour, an hour. And we will have Ms. Liberty respond to the court if we have no objections or if we have any objections. And assuming we have no objections, then we won't meet tomorrow.
Correct.
If we do have an objection, I understand that Ms. Bradley has a commitment in the morning, so I assume we'll meet sometime around 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Correct.
Fair enough.
Is that all right with everybody?
Yes, sir.
So just plan on being here tomorrow at 1:30, unless council, Mr. Nielsen, did I say it right?
It doesn't matter, Judge. You can call me,
No, I apologize. Addison. Mr. Addison,
Yes, sir.
if I hear from you and you send out an email to the state as well as the court, let us know, let's say by 1 o'clock, is that all right? Whether you're gonna be here or not?
1 o'clock today?
No.
Tomorrow? Yeah, 1 o'clock tomorrow. If we have to be here, it's fine with us.
They say let's notify.
Oh, notify the court by tomorrow,
By tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
by 1 o'clock.
Otherwise, be here at 1:30.
Fair enough.
Is that good with everybody?
Yes,
Was there anything else?
I'm just gonna approach with the amended verdict form.
All right, you're gonna send assuming whatever the final version is, you're gonna make copies, correct?
Correct.
And for the copies though, I need one for each of the jurors.
Sure.
That's 14. I'm gonna need one for the court reporter, is 15. How many does this defense need?
3.
18. And we need an extra one, right? 19. So let's say you make 20 just to keep a round number of it, so there's no issue if something gets wrong. Now regarding the closing argument, I don't see how this is gonna work in one day, with a 4-hour closing respectfully. I don't see how it's gonna work. The jury, Gary, when I talked to Tom, he explained to me that the jury was instructed to be here on Thursday morning at what time?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Where at?
First parking garage.
The parking garage. And then you gotta bring them over here?
Yes, we'll escort them here.
You'll escort them
They'll have
here?
a designated area, there'll be deputies there waiting for them, and then we'll escort them.
And how long does that take?
Assuming they get here at a reasonable time, and they're
Assuming
not.
they get here on time. I know we've never started on time because we
They'll
always
they'll have to put everything through the scanner, their luggage and everything. So I would say 30 minutes.
So assuming we start at 9:30, and I think that's a big assumption. My guess is we start at 10, all right? Because we've told the jury to be here, and there's always somebody who's not showing up at 9 o'clock, always late, and by the time we resolve whatever issues we have, we start at 9:30. And that's, that's just the nature of the beast, so to speak. But assuming we start at 10 o'clock and you go 3 hours as we're closing, without taking any breaks, you're gonna be into 12:30, quarter to 1, and your opening argument. We take an hour or so for lunch, come back, at, let's say 2 o'clock, and defense puts on, their argument. There's no way we can finish all this. There's just no way. And we indicated, you all told me you wanted to do it one day. It just, there's not enough time to do it because the first night they have to be out of here by 5. They come and make arrangements to get them out of here by 5 o'clock. They've asked me to assure them, because they have to make arrangements over at the hotel where they're being sequestered at, things like that. Friday, they'll pick them up. They're working on all those arrangements, and they'll be over here to start their deliberations Friday morning, and they'll get them over here fairly early because they'll have them. They've all had breakfast arranged already. They're working on all of that. So my thought is, we can't have 4 hours. It's just not going to work out. You can't have 4 hours. You know that. If you go 3 hours, put an opening 2 hours, rebuttal an hour, that gives Mr. Alstein 3 hours, and I don't know who's doing the closing. Are you doing the who's doing the closing? So that gives him the time in the middle, 2 to 3 hours. Because whatever I give you, I got to give him.
I understand that.
And then you have an hour for rebuttal. I don't know if you need really need an hour for rebuttal, but the problem is it's cutting really, really close to that 5 o'clock time. That's the problem I have.
So you're saying even asking for 3 hours would be too much? Is that what you're?
No, I'm saying I think we can get it done in 3. And again, I have to hold out the same time for the defense as for you. But counsel's indicated to me he doesn't think he's going to need 3 hours. But if things change, he's entitled to the same time that I give you. But if I give you 3, and we started, be optimistic. We start at 9:30. All right, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. Is your opening argument. Okay, we got to take a break in there someplace. It's going to take me a half hour to read the instructions. So you'll probably be done with your opening argument. If you take 2 hours, somewhere around noontime, 12:15, 12:30, something like that.
So is it your honor's intention to read the instructions to the jury first and then closing?
That's what I typically do.
That's fine. It's not, there's no preference on that.
Because you're going to use the instructions I thought in closing.
Yes.
And, so I would.
I'm sorry. I have no problem with them using the instructions before you read the instructions, since we have them. So may I suggest considering starting closing arguments immediately, because at least if we run out of time, the court can instruct the jury Friday morning. This way, we're assured that closing arguments will in fact be complete on both sides. And if we agree to the jury instruction, then I see no harm in either side using those instructions.
My understanding from the rules are you can do it either way. So up to however you want to do it. So, I leave it to the attorneys, basically. You tell me whether you want to read it first or last. I typically read it first, not my preference. That's just what the attorneys want me to do typically. So I don't really care one way or the other. You tell me how you want to handle it. That's number one. But if we do 3 hours, just talking about the time frame, if you do 2 hours,
Yes.
and you get your closing done in the morning, let's say, we take an hour and 15 minutes or so. That's what we've been doing for lunch. Come back. Mr. Alstein can have his 3 hours thing. And then you come in for your 4th hour at the end. And it should be, you know, if he takes the time, he's telling me he's probably not gonna use the time, but he's entitled. That brings us up right around 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I will, if you're instructing us to do 3 hours, I will do my best to get everything done in the 3 hours. I'm doing it 2 and 1. So if it might go over a little bit, it might be under a little bit, so I don't write it out word for word.
I would ask you to do the instructions last, since we agreed to it, and in the event that we're running late, then
Stop you for a second, Gary. What happens if we're running over a half hour on these things? Because Tom says you gotta get them out of here at 5 o'clock.
I don't
I've
think,
never had the issue come up.
yeah, I don't think it's such a big deal. I can check with him to see what's the latest. I know the first night is kind of lengthy because the things we have to do before we take them there.
All right, so we'll see how it goes. I'll get your a ruling hopefully today on the felony murder issue. And then we're gonna meet back here 1:30 tomorrow, unless I hear, and you hear from, defense counsel that they're agreeing to the instructions, preserving your objection, but I mean, the form and substance of the change that we made, they're, in essence, agreed to conform to my rules. And,
Yes, sir.
otherwise, everybody meets back here at 1:30. Okay?
And so the only thing I could think of to deal with or address prior to the closing is if defense is going to object every single time I call the phone number of the defendant. If we have as opposed to having to argue that every single time, as the state makes sure, now argument and the state has proven that phone number belongs to the defendant.
I think she has the right to refer to it as the defendant. I also have the right to argue that if I so choose, that they haven't proven it. But I think at this point, that's fair comment on the testimony.
And that's what argument is. It's comment on testimony. You're the way you're receiving it. So I doubt there would be an objection. But counsel's just telling you that that's it's a threshold question in the trial as to whose cell phone it is. And that's why you asked to let all those emails and text messages and all that kind of stuff in there.
But that was one of the reasons I was asking for 4 hours, because I anticipated a lot of objections on that specific area.
We're not gonna object on that, she's entitled to make that argument. Your Honor, there's just one thing remaining, and we're not sure that, we know we made a motion for judgment of acquittal at the conclusion of the state's case in chief, at the conclusion of the defense case. We are renewing it at the conclusion. I guess the state didn't put on the case, but just in case there was any procedural requirement that we do so in order to preserve our rights, we are renewing at the close of the state's non-rebuttal case, our motion for judgment.
I thought you did, and I thought you did that earlier today, but if I'm mistaken, I'm sorry. But you said, I thought the last time there's no other argument, you're standing on the arguments you previously made, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
And state have any additional arguments?
Just from the Lynch case, Your Honor, I would also cite as to the premeditation aspect, there's case law on that as to how premeditation can be proven.
I'll defer ruling on it, and I want to read the case over, and I intend to get you an answer today. If not, it'll be first thing in the morning. All right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, I spoke with Tom, 5:15 today.
All right?
So I would again, based on that, ask the court to instruct the jury last.
Well, I think the state has no objection to it.
Oh, okay, fair enough, I missed that.
I'm going back and forth on that one. I'll think about that and we can discuss it tomorrow. I prefer the court to have, to read the instructions first on that, so that that's the baseline and that's already been given from the court, so.
Typically, that's the way I do it, but it's discretionary. It can go either way. See what the issues are. And my only concern is making sure we get it done. But I don't want to, instruction report, they're going to have a hard copy of the instruction, but I don't read these instructions really fast. I take my time reading it. I'm not going to just fly through it. I just don't do that.
And we're asking that it be read last, so we're clear on that.
I understand. I want to hear what the state has to say. She says she's going back and forth. And I do understand that discretionary is up to the courts.
Let's go forward.
All right, anything else to discuss?
No, sir, thank you very much.
How about you, ma'am? Anything else to discuss?
No, Your Honor.
See everybody back 1:30 tomorrow unless I hear from you.
You're gonna hear from, the designated person that Judge Siegel's, appointed, and that is Miss Liberty, with all due respect.
With all due respect, I'm sure that Judge Siegel didn't appoint any one of the
Oh, yes, he did.
warriors.
He did. He did. He absolutely did.
I disagree with
Uh-huh,
you. Out
Man, let me tell y'all something, boy. Hey, I wouldn't give a damn what happened tomorrow, Thursday. Man.
Well, why wouldn't you give a
Hey,
damn? Why wouldn't you give a damn?
boy, this took me out. You hear me? I planned on coming on this bit because they say they're gonna be done by 12. Get off this bit, take me a little down. I gotta get up at 4. It's already 3:14. I'm mad as a bit, man. Them motherfuckers study. I talking about did the charges change. I wouldn't give a damn if they added charges at this point. I wouldn't give a fuck.
Why, man?
Damn it, man.
Look, you got to be in tune, man. What if it was your people, man?
Hey, damage has been done. Goddamn it. Hey, holler at me on the back end. How much you need for commissary or what the burial gonna be? Shit.
Yo, this has definitely I ain't gonna lie, I had to stop paying attention. I had to start doing something else.
All right, and then I done seen the video you seen sent me. I'm so motherfucking tired. I know I ain't finna make no video. I wouldn't give a damn what he said.
Look, I was sitting here and I was like, well, dang, I was planning on going live today. I said, well, you know what? Then I realized I am on live. So I had to turn my live on because I was like, kill two birds with one stone, you know?
Yeah, shit, you probably been there.
I wasn't thinking. I really wasn't. Look, when I came up here, I was supposed to come troll real quick and get on through.
That.
We got to talk about that stuff.
So what you think about all the shit they done said? Like what you concluded from that?
Well, I see they got some other options, so I think they just want a conviction because they got manslaughter on the table. If I paid attention correctly, um, I see. I've never dealt with a trial, watched a trial, or cared enough to pay attention to a trial where they requested a acquittal. So my whole thing is, so is it the judge is not gonna do it? Is it going to the jury? Like, when are we gonna know about that? So really, I really don't know what to expect at this point, you know.
So what they saying they trying to change the charge?
Nah, so what they do is, what they do, walk alert, is so for example, right? If I want to charge you with robbery, however, it's a possibility you may get found not guilty based off my case. I'm gonna put, okay, let's just say it was uh petty theft. I'm just throwing out something, right? So
Mhm.
now the jury can be like, yeah, I don't believe they proved robbery, but oh yeah, they definitely proved petty theft. So we can find them guilty in petty theft. So it's still a conviction.
Yeah.
So it's like a way for them to like make it worthwhile, not just take a whole L. Like although we may not get them on capital murder, we can get them on manslaughter if the jury feel like we at least prove that.
Yeah, them motherfuckers ain't proved nothing, man. Them motherfuckers ain't proved shit.
And then the crazy thing is going to be if they do get a manslaughter conviction, that's going to be so wild because, like, again, based off the information that um the prosecution put out, they said that Melly was in the car up until what 5 minutes before the car pulled up at the hospital. It's a witness statement. And they didn't mention perjury or nothing. Hell, I don't even remember the state even saying like cap. They just said like, well, why didn't you tell us about the phone thing when we talked to you? So they didn't even pull his card on what he said. So it's like That's gonna be crazy if he actually get convicted off of that.
Right. Right.
But
Yeah, I think, man. I think he got this. That last witness made me more convinced that it might go good for Melly. But it's all on the jury, man.
definitely at this point, and I see. My thing is, I wonder how long it's gonna take for them to come back with a verdict. I know this is gonna be the most nail biting way. Cause I'm not even gonna lie with the ex Sashian case, I definitely had them pass judgment like a lot of people pass judgment in this case. I lied, they guilty. I didn't even wait for the whole verdict. I wasn't, it was just like, But this one, I'm actually intrigued to see, you know what I'm saying, what's gonna happen.
Right. So they want a lesser charge so he can plea out or they get some kind of win.
Oh, you think he gonna plea?
So you think if they do go down and say, well, we gonna take it from what they charging him with right now?
What you got? Felony murder,
Yeah,
I
felony
think it's
murder.
a charge.
So you think if they drop it down and say, man, we'll charge you with manslaughter, will you take a plea? You think he'll do it?
In my opinion, I don't think they're gonna offer him a plea. Like this is a death penalty case. You get what I'm saying? Like that's
So how you get death penalty off of manslaughter if they
nah. See, this is what they don't see. The death penalty is based off the charges of felony murder. So, like, if he get found gets to that, that's when that comes in play. But to me, in my opinion, them putting that on the line is saying we know our case is shaky. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I actually had none. Mm-mm. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, it's murder with the first degree with a deadly weapon is an actual charge right now. They put the lesser charges again, in my opinion, right? Is because they know they ain't hitting on nothing right now. They know that.
right,
Okay,
right.
hold on. They just filed a document. Let me see what this document say. Hmm, I think this is the right one. Share my screen for me, please. Look, I thought I heard music snoring at one point. I was like, dang, you got to fall asleep on mute, not off mute.
Nah, I was on mute. I ain't really fall asleep. I was like daydreaming sleep. I was up, but I was out of.
All right, so they filed this document today, states memorandum of law regarding felony murder, and it's basically stating no requirement to plead for felony murder. It say the defendant suggests that because the state has listed more than one felony as basis of the felony murder portion of the indictment, the defendant is somehow deprived of due process of law. The state will submit that the listing of felonies is already above and beyond what is required. Defense fails to include their motion that the defendant is charged only under felony murder theory, but also with premeditated murder. If the state proceeds under premeditated murder theory, there is no requirement that the state plead felony murder in the indictment, much less to actual identify the specific crimes with which it decides to pursue at trial. So that's pretty much what they was arguing already. So they already put it in motion. I honestly, just outside looking in, felt like they did a good job on the defense on like making it plausible. Even the judge had to stretch his head. Like, hold on, I need to look into this because I still don't see how they doing premeditated murder though. They damn sure ain't proved that.
Right, they most definitely didn't. Shit, they ain't proved nothing to be talking about. Proved a bit thought about shit. They ain't proved a murder shit. At
Mm-mm.
this point, this shit was a drive by. Cause shit, we can't. Man, I think he gonna walk though. I think he gonna walk. Melly free 2023, man.
That's what they say.
This shit
That's
finna
what they
go,
say.
man.
What y'all think in the chat? I'm not even looking down, but what y'all think?
So his lawyers ain't playing no games. If they free Melly, bitch, I'm finna start me a Melly channel and I'm be posting Melly.
Yo, let me tell you something, okay? I'm gonna be reposting my old videos and say, see, I told you I ain't had nothing. I'm like,
Yeah.
so I ain't gonna. So I'm playing. No, I'm not. But I'm definitely gonna do more Millie content. I ain't gonna lie. But
I bet
that
go
is
to the
something though.
stove, bitch. I'm doing the video. Melly went to the stove.
Well, you in Florida? Hell yeah, man. I'll be at the fucking gates with a camera.
Man, I'll be scared.
You ain't got to be seen, man. Do you know how much? You know that's gonna go up if you
I
happen to
know.
place yourself there when he's actually get out and stream live before anybody else.
Yeah,
Now,
like,
mind you, you know what I'm saying? A lot of like bloggers are not down there. They're in other places. So like, you know what I'm saying? You man, let me tell you.
I'm going to the crime scene tomorrow.
See? Cause when Quando Rondo ass go back in that courtroom, I will definitely be there, okay? First and foremost. So I would definitely say that. But yeah, Melly set there is definitely coming up. Cause you see, he already had, I ain't gonna lie, he already got the internet going up. Man, you
Right,
remember when Boosie first got out from beating that murder case?
right.
Okay, Saint man, come on.
He said Melly and fried.
Who's that?
So they convicted Tory Lanez with way less.
Nah, and I keep telling y'all the difference between the two was that Tory Lanez actually had a witness say he did it. See, that's the difference. Nobody
Right.
has actually said Melly did anything. Okay, remember the whole situation was: is this his phone? You know what I'm saying? Was he there? That's it. Tory Lanez had Kelsey actually say he did it. That's big difference. Oh, and Megan. Let's not forget that. Like he actually had people say he did it. Now, if you believe it, I mean that's on you. But you know, you think Tory Lanez was innocent? Music.
Man, listen. My live the day before, man, we went in. I'm talking about I just knew that nigga was coming home.
Why did
It
you
was-
think that?
because like the witness that where it happened at,
Hmm.
he say he seen the young lady shoot. And then he say he see the smaller guy trying to get the gun from the lady. And then Megan's story didn't add up with her lawyers on. The lawyer said the reason why the gunpowder got on your girl is because she was next to Megan when the shots went off. Megan said she didn't see Kelsey. What? That's her name, right?
Hmm.
Megan
You
said
know her name.
she didn't see Kelsey.
Right.
So how your story don't match your lawyer's story?
I mean, that's a good point. But you missing the fact that even though the story may have been out of bounds, the evidence they had, why it was circumstantial, he still was pointed out. See,
Yeah,
that's the
but
thing. And I didn't really watch it like that because I'm just gonna be honest. I was definitely biased on that one. I thought he was guilty from the start. So I didn't really cover it like that. However, the bits and pieces I did do, it was like this. I don't believe did his defense counter that is no way he accidentally or like possibly pulled the trigger trying to get the gun from Kelsey. Was that ever addressed at trial?
that he was trying to get the gun from. Only person said that was the witness.
And his was what his team said nothing.
I don't remember what the team was saying.
Uh, Well, yeah, I just thought, to be honest, I just thought he definitely was just a hothead, and he did it. That was my honest thing.
But
So,
my thing, I was looking at it like this, man. Why would he want to shoot Megan though? Like, why it don't make sense if you saying Megan is upset with you because you slept with her friend. If anything, Megan's supposed to be trying to shoot a bit. Like, why would I try to shoot a female and they mad at me? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the one that's wrong. I'm not the one that's upset. They're upset. Like, it give me no motive.
The motive
Like,
was he was an arrogant prick. That's the motive.
come on now,
He
but
was a little midget throwing a tantrum.
yeah, but why is he throwing the tent? If my girl catch me cheating, and it's to the point where I'm bragging about it. Yeah, I cheated. Why would I shoot her in the foot?
Because she said, well, I don't give a flying elf. Forget you, okay? I'm the stallion. And then he said, oh, you don't care? Well, dance, bitch. Okay?
Right, and then talk about dance, bitch. Man, come on, man.
Man, so you mean to tell me you can't see Tory Lanez doing that?
I
Now
just
twerk
don't.
now, ho. Boom, boom, boom. Come on. Trying to tell you.
Let me say Megan was try to say what he did say. Meg was out there like two guns. To smash Kylie too. Man, yeah, I don't think he said dance, bitch, man.
I can
That's some
see his
movie
ass
shit,
saying that
man.
with a little auto tune with it.
That's some fucking movie shit.
And did he take the stand?
Nah, did he? Nah, I don't think he
No,
did.
he didn't. He didn't. Yeah, okay.
I think he should have. In that case, I think he should have. Because Kelsey's story didn't add up. And
Kelsey
then
had a
think about
proffer
it.
too.
And then think about it. Kelsey was saying that she give her testimony if she get the proffer, or how was it worded? Oh no, on the stand she say the reason why she didn't say none at first is because she was scared that she'll get in trouble. What are you scared you'll get in trouble for?
Look, it don't matter. She got that proffer. I had pulled her stuff out of Houston. They definitely had the same. See, the thing is, they had the same hold on her like they did Felicia in this case, in the Melly case, Felicia Holmes. Hmm.
And then it's like, man, come on, man. You like what is you gonna get in trouble for? If you didn't shoot her, what is you getting in trouble for?
It's funny what you said. Well, you ain't shoot her. I don't know, Brody, but he about to do 30 years for it.
And if he didn't do it, that's messed up though.
Yeah. At this point, that's between him and Jesus.
Damn, you don't got no remorse.
No, I mean, like, just to be real though, because like, even if look, even if Mel get found guilty, when you just look at it from the criminal justice system, I mean, his peers that how our country is built off of said he's guilty until appeal. You know what I'm saying? So kind of like it's not really much you can do on that one.
Man, let's look at that King Von shit real quick.
Man, that's why I sent it to you. I wasn't gonna play it. I'm just gonna react from your you
I'm
playing.
saying what is bad.
I
Shit.
don't know, but it's going up. Everybody's talking about it. Man, go ahead and run that stuff. Mr. Breakdown King. See, that's not paperwork related. This you gotta break this down for his music.
Right. Where you got it from? Academics.
I don't know. Somebody shared it to me and I just shared it right onto your ass.
Okay, hold on. Nah, cause you know when you do your DMs, that shit show all your DMs and shit.
Oh, Skull got it on his page too.
Oh, it's on No Jumper. Okay, man. Let's see what bro talking about. And then he blowing kisses and shit.
Man,
That
this
been crazy, man.
man, I hope this ain't no crazy.
Hold on. I gotta exit out and go to no jumper.
I seen that, so oh no.
That nigga Vaughn crazy as fuck, man. But I'm gonna tell y'all what it was, though.
Please break down King. Break that shit down because we need answers, okay?
I'm
Paperwork
already.
can't help this one.
I ain't even watched the video, but I'm gonna tell you what it was. When I read the title, it say old body cam footage leak of King Von asking police for protected custody because of his sexuality. Y'all already know
We don't know. Enlighten us.
the jail that he was at is mostly ran by GDs.
Mm-hmm.
King Von is a BD.
Mm-hmm.
If he don't go in protected custody,
Mm-mm.
his ass is grass.
Are you telling me that King Von O Block himself was in PC? Is that what
Come
you're
on,
saying?
come on, man. You don't think, man? Listen,
Music. We got
listen,
no
listen,
PC.
listen to me. That bitch, one thing about him, he ain't dumb. He can't beat no whole fucking tier. He might go beat a nigga 1-on-1, but he can't beat no whole fucking tier.
I never heard him say. He said he was done doing his thing in jail. But you
Man,
tell me he was doing his thing because he was in PC?
man,
Music 101? Look, is that what you saying?
Hey, in this situation, in 17, goddamn it, he wanted PC. That nigga probably already knew, man. Look, where the fuck I'm going, I ain't got no chance. That just like
Chicago. We need Chicago to pull up on music and talk about this. So you mean to tell me that's how O Block get down? PC.
that's how my boy went down in 17. I tell it. That just like Butter. Butter said the same thing. He say, I forgot where jail they was at.
Oh my
What's the
God,
name?
you comparing him to Butter?
No, I'm saying Butter let it be known that the jail that they was at, I forgot the name of it, but GD's running. So like when they go to jail, it's like,
All right.
they be spanking their ass.
All right, y'all heard it first. Right here. On Music 101. Mickey Truth, just a visitor.
Yeah, if I'm in that bitch and it's 100 GDs and I'm in that bitch by myself, hey, could you please put me in PC?
See? You get on my nerve.
I ain't with this shit. Look, he talking about by little job. He waving and blowing kisses at niggas. Man. Look,
Oh my gosh. Trap, where Trap? Where Trap at?
look, and he say he gonna fuck him.
Oh
Come
no.
on, man. Go
What?
ahead.
What? Trap. Trap media, come out the bushes. I got questions. What? Do it again one more time, music. Say again.
Uh-uh. Put me in PC. I got this. For real, look at my boy, man. Oh, y'all
What?
see it or no?
No,
I'm
I
watching
don't
this
see
bitch.
nothing.
I was watching it. Y'all ain't even here.
Oh my god.
So because of your sexual orientation, you're protective custody, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I get along with, the straight people and that problem. But over there, just, they got a problem with me. I don't never start nothing. Bye, little Josh. I'm gonna fuck you too.
Yeah.
My sister.
He blew him a
Hell
kiss.
no.
I'm probably gonna go to PC. Tell I'm gonna go to PC probably. What's your name? I'm Dennis. Dave on.
And he could pass for it too right now. Look how he hitting his leg. And he fucked Jock up.
I gotta put this shit up on the B screen.
Look, man. Look. My boy, he looking in that bitch. He see all his ops. Ain't no way he going in that bitch. You see, hey, bitch, I'm not going there. They took him back out that door. Bitch, I'm not going in there.
So, but I thought, the guys that, be doing all that and go to jail supposed to be steppers. Like, they supposed to stand on it. Like, to the death of me. Like,
Yeah,
I ain't
yeah,
scared of none of y'all niggas.
yeah, but the death of me don't want to be in jail though. Shit.
Look,
That's
hey, I ain't
it.
knocking it. If that's look, I ain't knocking it, okay? But what I'm just saying, cause y'all like to sway away from the fact of what it is. So I just want to make sure, I just watch TV. I don't know nothing about none of this. Like, is that okay? So is that okay to do that?
I don't know. I don't. Let me think, man. To if I'm trying to be smart, hey, I might. Sometimes you might have to check out, man.
Okay,
You
look,
might
I
have
ain't
to
knocking
check
it.
out. Cause hey, you win some, you lose some. But you live to fight another day. That bitch probably wasn't made because you gotta think about his reputation at the time. This is 2017. This is right before he came out and got with Dirk. Cause he got with Dirk in 18.
Uh-huh.
So this right here, like you gotta mind you, this is the King Von that everybody still want to kill though, like type shit.
Uh-huh.
So if you
Hey,
put me in the dorm with all my ops, I might have to cop a plea too. Like, hey, listen,
mm,
cause I'm gonna fight, but damn, I can't even go to sleep in this bitch. You hear me? Nigga need rest
damn.
now. I'm cool with getting my ass whooped and get a little rest. But damn, I can't even get no rest.
So you had to cop a plea to not get no, so you can get some rest, and that's okay.
Hey,
Damn.
I need to go to
Hey, I
PC.
learned a lot. Play it one more time. Play it one more
I need to go to PC cause my sexuality got
time. Look, play it one more time.
So because of your sexual orientation, you're requesting protective custody. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I get along with, the straight people and their problem. Over the others, they got a problem with me. I don't never start nothing. Bye, little Josh. I'm gonna fuck you too. You talk to my sister? Tell her I said I love her. Tell her I'm probably gonna go to PC. Tell her I'm gonna go to PC probably. Yeah. I'm Dennis, Dave on.
Where's the
nigga
plumber at?
say,
In
buy a
there?
little job.
Nah, see, y'all missing the convo. Run it back one more time. I want to hear what dude in the background is saying that's talking to him.
Hold on.
So because of your sexual orientation, you're requesting protective custody. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I get along with, the straight people and their problem. Over the others, they got a problem with me. I don't never start nothing. Bye, little Josh. I'm gonna fuck you too. You talk to my sister?
I think he
Tell her I said
talking
I love
shit
her.
to
Tell her
him.
I'm probably gonna go to PC. Tell her I'm
Mute
gonna go
up.
to PC probably. Yeah. I'm Dennis, Dave on.
He said y'all need to stop doing that
Where's
shit.
the
I was
plumber at?
trying to
In
hear
there?
the rest of it.
I've been on this. Got a problem. They supposed to be a Christian, but they got a problem with gay people. How you gonna be Christian?
He said he gonna be-
So because of your sexual orientation, you're requesting protective custody. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I get along with, the straight people and their problem. Over the others, they got a problem with me. I don't never start nothing. Bye, little Josh. I'm gonna fuck you too. You talk to my sister? Tell her I said I love her. Tell her I'm probably gonna go to PC. Tell her I'm gonna go to PC probably. Yeah.
Now he said, man, your ass need to stop doing that shit, fo.
Where's the plumber at? In there?
This the only thing I've been on.
He telling him, you need to stop going to PC with that gay shit, man.
So it sounds like that's somebody he know that's probably in the same little situation. So I mean, he wasn't there by himself, right?
No,
Or
he ain't in PC yet. He was finna get ready to go in population, and he asked, could he go to PC?
but his homie right there. He just said, "Tell my sister I love her."
Right, and tell her I'm finna probably go to PC.
Right. So, but I mean,
And the
I'm
whole,
going off of what y'all saying that. Well, you, right? You and the goo. You in the chat is saying that, from a gang aspect, you outnumber, you need to just, think strategic about it. But he talking to his people right there, like they talking to each
no,
other.
no, but did you? His people was on the left side. He was going to the right. That's two different dorms.
Mm.
Them doors, when he was facing, when you seen that police officer at the door where he was looking at, that's what he was, the nigga judge or whatever he said the name is. That's his ops. That's where he was going because they was finna unlock the door and put him in that
Oh,
one.
so
But
who he was talking to was his ops.
in the beginning, when he blew the kiss,
Mm-hmm.
that was the ops. He said, "I'm gonna fuck you too."
Mm-hmm. Well, look, that sounds like a whole bunch of politicking I don't know nothing about. But I ain't from Chicago, never even been. It sounds weird to me, but that's why I had to get the breakdown king to break that thing down. Okay.
Yeah, he each side is different dorms.
Mm.
Each side is different dorms. So him, what that officer was,
So it's okay to go to PC.
I ain't saying that. I'm
Nah,
saying,
hell no. See, this is why I don't. I see. This is why
nah,
I just
listen,
watch
I'm
TV. Cause
saying,
what the
if you
hell?
a gangster, no, listen, if you a gangster, you shouldn't be talking about you going to no PC if you're supposed to be this gangster, this street
See,
nigga. But what I'm
right.
saying,
That's where I'm going with it.
but listen though, sometimes you have to be smart to survive though.
But hold on. But see,
If
it's a line. It's either you supposed to or you don't.
it's like this, Mickey, it's like this. Me and five of my homeboys, we going to this club, right?
Mhm.
And we've been kicking ass for years, and we
Mhm.
at war with some dudes, right?
Right.
And these dudes in that club, and we know when we go in there, it's going down.
Mhm.
But we get the call, man. It's 40 of them motherfuckers in there. I
Mhm.
ain't no pussy, you know what I'm saying? But it's common sense that we shouldn't be going in there for our safety.
I ain't thought gangsters care about safety like that.
Oh yeah, I damn so do.
Really.
Because at the same time we could go to war, but at the same time I'm gonna
Only if
try,
you can win.
not if only I could win, but I'm not finna go in no situation where I know I shouldn't even be
Uh-huh. Interesting. So, okay. So PC is not good, right? However, it's a clause in the gangster rule book that you can do it if it makes sense and it's an op involved that you don't really want to face, multiple ops you don't want to face, so it's okay, right? So it's like PC with a clause is okay.
I ain't gonna say. I'm saying put it
Hebrew,
like
I be
this.
trying to understand this.
If
Like,
your
okay.
if your life in danger,
Hmm.
I won't clown you for trying to go to PC.
But isn't that part of like the whole mentality of being in a gang? It's dangerous anyway.
It's danger, but we trying to live. See, we gonna leave that crash out shit for this new generation. See how I came up, goddamn it, we gonna go to war, but bitch, we is trying to win the war. We is trying to survive at the same time.
Mhm.
So if I know it's 30 niggas down that street that want to whoop my ass or gonna whoop my ass when I go down that street, I'm gonna go on the next street. Now I catch each one of them niggas one by one when I can, but today
Alright.
I ain't going down Third Street. I'm gonna go down Fourth Street and walk all the way around.
That's one thing. But again, the question in chat, y'all help me out because I'm trying to understand from outside looking in. If PC is frowned upon in that lifestyle, how is it any gray area to go to PC? Or does going to PC for whatever reason, kind of like I guess, do something to his whole reputation. I mean, of course, long live King Von. He's this season. I'm just talking about in general. He just happened to be the example. But does that play a difference? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of my cases on the back end that I don't do for content, a lot of people be wanting prison records. And one
Mhm.
thing I hear a lot is that big homies don't like to see PC. So that's why I just want to know, like, if from that level, I'm only knowing that PC is bad, right? Um, Especially just a regular person, right? Not saying like a high profile celebrity, but a regular person, is bad. So like, is it bad or does it vary on where like your I guess your politics like Chicago? Maybe it's okay in Chicago. Like, is that how that goes?
I'm gonna say this: if you're a gang member and you active in the streets, it's frowned upon if you go and check in PC, right?
Hmm.
But I would say this: if say, nah, you ain't because it's a survival thing, like right, like I I would say this: it's frowned upon.
Hmm.
But if I see it's a situation where I know you probably won't make it out if you go on that tier. If Vaughn would have went through them doors, like, dude, he's talking to them guys right there. Them
Hmm.
motherfuckers is waiting on him to come through them doors. You know what I'm saying? Like they waiting on him. So technically, and with politics, it's frowned upon to check out and go to PC. It is if you a gang member or you active in the streets. But will I bash a person for doing that if I know the situation like that? No, because also you got to be smart. You got to think about survival. King Von, shit, if he would have went in that motherfucker, they probably would have tore his ass up. You hear me? Like, think about King Von, able to tear his ass up. It hit different. Do your homework. What's your
So,
name?
so again, in summary,
Bro,
it's okay to go to PC if it's a survival mechanism, right? From a gang culture, because that's one thing I've never been a part of the gang. Definitely know people that's aligned with that lifestyle. However, it's always again been said to me that's a no. So I just want to know, like, so is it okay? So like if you're in that lifestyle, right? Again, people request prison documents all the time, like your actual prison record. It shows you went to PC. And you just say, oh, it was I was outnumbered and I probably wouldn't have made it out, then it's okay to go to PC.
I wouldn't say it's okay, but I would understand it.
But see, it's like so this is my whole thing, right? Where and I'm using this as just the basis of like the whole conversation as a whole. You don't think having all the no, it's not okay, but is the issue just with society as a whole though, when we can't even have clarity on what's really supposed to be acceptable and what's not?
Nah, because it's a difference. Because just because something that's not okay doesn't mean that you don't understand it, though. Like, like for example, like I'm saying, like I know for a fact him checking in the PC is gonna, make him look like, oh, you tweak, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he don't supposed to do it. But due to the circumstances, I understand why he did it. Now, I'm not, when I say I understand why he did it, I'm not giving him an excuse or a pass. You
Hmm.
feel what I'm saying? Like, if he King Von, he's supposed to win in that bitch. Period. But what I'm saying is, I understand why he did it. Even though I'm saying I understand why he did it, I'm not saying that what he did is right, or you know what I'm saying, you're supposed to
Right.
do it in that situation. I'm just saying I understand it because I would do the same thing. I would listen, man, listen to me. I went my neighborhood was going through it with another neighborhood, right? I got so pissed off, I went there by myself to a whole nother neighborhood, knowing these people want to kill me. You hear me? These people want to kill me. I went by myself and fought a whole fucking neighborhood on God. Anybody that know me tell you. Fought a whole fucking neighborhood. Now, that's only because it was some street shit and mentally I was checked out already. I was ready to whatever happens.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was in my right mind, it's no way in hell I would even went that way. Like, for instance, it was a situation where they called us after school. So it's like, okay, these bitches got bats and everything.
Right.
Oh, we not walking down there. Let me call my stepdaddy real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like we supposed to go to war, but it's like, okay, listen. It's about being smart. Like, why go in the pen and you know you're gonna die? Like, I knew for a fact if I would have went down there that day, I would have been dead. Them bitches had bats and everything. But the day I went down there and fought the whole hood by myself, I wasn't thinking of that. It was just strictly like, bitch, I'm finna stand on business. So it's like, I understand your life could be in jeopardy. Him walking into that dorm at that time is like walking into that bitch knowing these niggas got them bats in that bitch. But any other time, he might walk into that same dorm when he knows less option or a less threat on his life. It's not right because he a gang member. So this what you signed up for.
Right.
But nigga, if you want to go to PC to put a little more time on your life, I get why he went there. I ain't gonna say, oh, you know what I'm saying, I forgive you or whatever, nigga. You checked in the PC, nigga. You was in PC. But I get it though. You know, you don't lose, you not less of a gangster, but you lose a strike.
Okay. Interesting. Look, it's definitely interesting to hear that. The politics is real though, okay? And I say that because, like I said, you know, my whole thing from, you know, my life is definitely more so principle is what we was raised on, not really the politics of things. Since I've been on the internet, I'm definitely getting more knowledge of other places, right, that are more heavy on politics and not principles. So I wonder, because I saw somebody mention Quando Rondo and King Von, and I hope that wasn't the basis to prove like the street credibility, right? Because I say this to say, even in that moment, King Von had a bunch of his people with him from Chicago, right? And Quando Rondo had, you know, his people. His people went, you know, did what they did. You know, Lil Tim protected Quando Rondo, right? Without thinking his life is upside down since, you know, like, you know, whatever. And the only person that actually came into the lion's den with that situation was Muwap, right? At some point. So is it that you can pick and choose when you supposed to be a real street game banger? Or is this something you supposed to be on all the time? Because to me, it seems like it's a switch that can be cut on and off if you really think about it. With most of, I'm just gonna keep it in the entertainment field. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a switch. It's about being smart. It's about
Joining a
being,
gang. Let's just be clear. Joining a gang is not smart at all.
nah, it's not smart, but at the same time too.
No, Latrice, don't cry. Oh, you made Latrice cry.
Man.
Not emotional apes, Lord. Truth team, any truth team members crying?
Hey, I don't think it's a switch that could be cut on and off.
So how do you know? So this is okay. So how does the younger ones coming up that's doing it, not saying it's right, not condoning it, but is I mean it is what it is. If the older generations don't even know if let's just use this situation, if PC right
Hmm.
is a yay or a nay, it can't be. It's a yay for you. It's a nay for you because like it. Why is that? Like it should be just I mean, in the YNW Melly trial, they had a whole book of shit that you're supposed to abide by. You know what I'm saying? So to me, in that book, and I'm only going off what they show, right? That book is guess what? Point blank, point blank. I ain't see, okay, so if you go to one, but in this incident you do this, it's just straight rules, 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 rules. So where's all this in between coming from? I see my name just now. If you on it, you got to stand on it, but you're also trying to make it out alive, right? No, 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 no. Hold, let me be clear, okay? Don't get this YouTube thing twisted. In my real life, it's not no in and out. When you sign up for it, I was brought up, and this is how I am. When you're in something, you're in it. You know what it come with, whether it is clocking out or not. So don't get it twisted. Like if I'm in it, I already know what time it is. And that's just that.
Right.
Without
Right.
getting into too much of it. But that's just that. And that's what I live by in real life. Now I get on here and play that Law and Order SVU on the internet, but I don't have no in between. It's not I've never had to have a conversation in real life about anything that we talk about on YouTube. Never. Because it's not no in between. It's you like this is okay. So let me use this one. A lot of people wonder on Clubhouse. I don't get into the pack outs, right? I don't do the arguing. I don't do none of that type of stuff. It be times I may get a little loud sometimes, but for the most time I don't argue, right? And it's because in real life I wasn't taught to do all that. It's not like I'm not about to do all that. Like that's not how I was brought up, and I'm
Right.
not gonna switch up on a principle that I was taught. And we were raised as a principle to stand on what you say. So to me, like I'm on the internet talking about people business all the time, okay? And I always say the reason why I stick to the facts because I need to be able to stand on it if you approach me about it, no
Right.
matter what. Now, if you feel that hostile about you snitched and I found the paper and you feel like you want to attack me, I'm not gonna waver from what I found though, and I'm okay with hey, it is what it is. I'm not gonna waver though, so that's why to me it's just like I don't get why choose a way of life just to waver. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't listen. I'm the best way I could put it is
Pat said what Pat say? Affiliate. Well, that's again. They say gangs is different or not real in some places. The members that I know personally, this is definitely a no. It wouldn't have been no conversation about it. But to each his own. And I'm not affiliated with none of that. I just know that's a no go. But for entertainment purposes and content, I just really want to ask the questions because some people may not know. They only know a lot of this gang stuff, and it's on. A lot of people only get a dose of it from what is talked about online. So from just an outside person, I would want to know that. Like, is it okay? Because a couple months back, when YF and Lucci it was brought out that he was in PC. Now, mind you, he's been in jail since he's a celebrity. But they
right.
was on his case about being in PC. So that's why I was wondering. Now, of course, I believe at this point King Von wasn't King Von, like who we know King Von to be as far as a celebrity, but he was definitely active per a lot of people that knew him in real life. So I just wondered from that level from an everyday level. If your homeboy went to PC, right, and you found out he was in PC and you talked to him, would it been a conversation like, yo, tell me what was going on? Or would have been like, nah, you bad work because you was in PC? How would that have went?
I'm gonna be real. I would, like I said, I wouldn't frown upon nobody that go to PC. Like I get it, it's something that you're supposed to stand on, but going to PC is not like telling on nobody, man. To me, that's you just scared for your life. Shit, you scared. It ain't nothing wrong with being scared. Hey, he ain't gotta tell me what happened. I know what happened. He was scared as a motherfucker, so he went and sat down. Know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going because at the same time, when people get put in positions where they don't want to be, they either get hurt, get killed, or they bring somebody else down. So you know what I'm saying? Hey, if a nigga don't want to stand on the wreck with everybody, take your ass to PC, go to PC. Like I said, when it comes to gang members, it's something that you don't supposed to do. But if a gang member did it,
he would be in violation then.
He would be in violation. I guess. I don't know. I'm not a gamer. I never been. So
I thought you was a gang member.
No, I'm from Florida,
hey,
baby.
One of y'all gang members come up here. I thought this whole time I was having a conversation with a gang member.
We rep neighborhoods. We don't rep gangs.
Isn't that like kind of like the same situation type thing? No, it's different. Okay.
Nah, because it's really like we just like a family. We don't have no.
Pat G a gang member. Tell Pat G to come up here.
I'm finna drop the link in the. Hey, come on.
Y'all gang members, internet gang members, come up here. I got some questions. I want to hear.
How the hell you gonna say? How the hell you gonna say the gang members come up here?
Hey, look. Come on, Latrice. Look, Latrice gang. Come on, Trees. I got some questions. I'm gonna.
G said yes, it's a violation.
Yeah. So okay. So boom. That's that then. So that means he was in violation, right? Now, of course, I guess the consequences is per the actual gang, right? It's not like a set in stone, right?
But why is it a violation? Like if he like.
Because the rule is this is the thing. So let me ask you this, right? And we can stray away from the games because maybe the gang members don't want to come out and show themselves. Okay, maybe that's part of the protocol. I don't know, but let's just take it away off the gang, right?
Right.
At work, okay, right? Everybody is familiar with no call, no show, right? You know, no call, no show, what that means, right? You know what's going to happen if you don't call in and not come to work, right? So if you do it, right, you will still be, although you may have a good reason, freaking the sky fell down on your head, you still violated no call, no show. So if you get terminated for that, would you not agree you were in violation of the rule?
Right. But okay, and like Pat G just said, Pat G say, but that's different from him just walking into a death trap. Like if you know it's a death trap, why
gang members do it all? I mean, again, so back to the gang aspect, right? I mean, you sign up for it. Like gang. Like that's what it's like. What you mean? Being in a gang is a death trap. So you mean to tell me it's people that is like partially ganging out here or whatever the word is for it, you know what I'm saying? And KG, where King Von was definitely not a celebrity at this time that this video was done.
Yeah, it was 2017. Look, if I join the game, today, I'm letting them bitches know off rip. It's limitation. Hey, bitch, I'm not walking in no death trap. You hear me?
So you need not to join no gang.
Right. Right. Because, hey, listen, first off, hey, it's limited. Like, we trying to survive. Like, this is, bitch, first of all, I'll probably be joining the gang to survive. This shit. So.
And see, that's the thing you take on. And see, that's the thing. And again, since we don't have no gang members that really want to talk about it, let's kind of just stray away from per se gangs because, you know, It'll be some internet person that be like, "Oh, y'all talking game politics on the internet," So let's stray away from it because I don't feel like arguing with these internet game bangers. Um, but if we just talking about, okay, so we just talking about regular, degular, everyday life, okay,
Right.
from an internet perspective, okay. If I came over here on MUSIZ101 channel, right, and you said, you know what, I don't rock with nobody who eat pork, right? And you like, that's whatever, whatever. That's my reasoning. And nobody that rock with me can eat pork. Like none of the music gang can eat pork. Like we standing on that. That's rule number one, no pork, right? And then Iceberg, who is part of the music gang, is eating pork, right? Now rule number one was not to eat pork, but he eats pork. He's in violation, right? Or are you gonna say, "Well, Iceberg, why did you eat pork?" And then he said, "Oh, because I was really hungry, and that's all I had to eat." Is he still not in violation, or is he okay because he was hungry?
Okay, I'm gonna put it like this. In the Bible,
Man, somebody
when we
gonna help me, cause
listen,
music is about to, man. Music is
what
trouble. Go
that
ahead,
I
DJ.
don't. You hear me? For Muslims not supposed to eat pork. But if they
Are you
have,
Muslim? Are you Muslim?
I don't want to get into that. You hear me?
Okay, well, let's talk about the music game, man. Cause look, we can't. We got to have
No,
somebody that's in it.
I'm speaking to you from experience.
Okay, go ahead.
I just don't want to go deep into it.
Okay.
And no, I'm not Muslim anymore.
But if you ate pork, what was it? Was you not in violation?
You don't supposed to, but if you have no choice and you have to survive, it's okay because we don't want you to die.
Mm. So, okay, boom. Thank you for saying that. Okay, so boom. If that's the case, why do we care about snitches then? Because a lot of these people snitch to survive per se, right? To get home. So why is it even a situation about if you snitch then?
I ain't gonna lie, I don't care.
No, we're not talking about personally, just as a whole. What
But
trap at?
I
What
think,
trap at? Where your peoples?
yeah, track got to
Hey,
put.
I mean, like somebody, like if that's the case, if it's all about at the end of the day, survival trumps all other rules to whatever you're a part of. It can be a gang, it can be a religion, it can be whatever. If survival trumps all of that, why do we care about anything outside of that as a whole? Not personally, but just as a whole.
I think. Hold on. Hello. You hear me?
Yeah, I must say hello.
I think
Come on,
now
let's
has to.
change the conversation. Let's wake it up. Okay, let's wake it up.
Now I think it's because it's the image that they putting out. Like they sold this and that. So it's like, nigga, how you this and that? But you told.
So how you talking about somebody ain't built like that and you went to PC acting gay? Respectfully with the word.
That's why it's an issue with Vaughn because his image. If Vaughn wasn't that big bad wolf, then it wouldn't be an issue. But it's going viral right now and people posting it because the image. That go back to what I'm saying. If you don't have the image you have of being this big bad wolf or this gangster, then it probably wouldn't matter.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. I'm gonna bring it this way. Um as far as me with paperwork, right? That's look, I've been saying that's my business. I pull paperwork, public paperwork, right? That's what I do.
Right.
However, I stand. That's my like literally. That's my lane though, right? Pulling paperwork is my lane. Like that's literally my business, right? That's what I get paid to do. That's what I do for a living in real life, and that's what it is. However, people come and they will say, I'm the police though, right? And they'll say it like on some, they try to be disrespectful about it, right? You the police, you the feds, you this, you that, because I'm doing my business, right? I'm not wavering from it. I do what my business is, right? But people still say you're a fed, you're the police or whatever, right? So
Mhm.
now they're in my business, right? So how is that any different from what they're accusing me of doing if they're doing it to me? Wouldn't it be the same?
Uh, I think they just being critics.
Oh, so you putting a I got it. Okay. Boom. So if we just add another name to it, so for example, with King Von, he was surviving, but with YF and Lucci, he was being a simp.
Nah, I ain't never think about Wildfire Lucci like going to PC. Like,
Latrice. Latrice made me sick. Okay. What you I saw Latrice comment. That was the first comment that came across my screen.
uh,
Tato said they pulling paperwork on you. I mean, I don't know what they doing. I ain't got no paperwork to pull. Besides, I mean, I'll pull my own paperwork. But if somebody want to do it, they can do it. I ain't tripping. Look, I ain't
I see,
tripping.
a motherfucker gonna always point fingers at the person that pointing fingers. So,
Right, but it's equal though. Like, and see, that's where I was getting at, because it's like equal. It's like you can't again. So, like for example, all right. So people always be like, you shouldn't do this. And I'm just talking about general. It's always people that say you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, right? You need to
right.
stick to what you do. But if the person is sticking to what they do, how are they doing anything else? So for example, in King Von's situation, right? He is supposed to be doing what he do. He's a gang member, allegedly, right? You supposed to be doing gang shit. The hell is you and they acting like you like men sticking in PC? That means you're now doing something that you don't supposed to be doing that's not in your lane. That's a violation, right?
Yeah, I agree. If listen, I agree. I agree. What King Von did by him being King Von is a violation.
So okay, thank you. Can we?
But
This is
but
what
no, I've been saying it. But what I'm saying is,
you ain't say it like that. You been saying, well, but I don't
but I
fault
understand it.
Hey, you remember we had that conversation when we was going back and forth, but I can't remember who was the snitch. But anyway, we was going back and forth, and I was like, we need to start saying what it is, period, and then go into like, cause a lot of times, like I said, I'll have to say, yeah, that's definitely snitching, period. However, you know what I'm saying? Boom, 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 boom. But we gotta just leave it where it's at. Like how I would say, like, just in my situation, like, yo, if you don't pull paperwork, right? Then you can't have a conversation with me about paperwork because you don't get it. You just go off of what you hear. It's not the same thing. You get what I'm saying? And I'm just like trying to tie in everything to make an overall statement of you can't be in a lane with somebody if you don't understand it. So just like Pat G was like saying, "Oh no, it's survival. It's this," and not saying it. I'm just because your name popped up first, but you know what I'm saying because he said if you're not affiliated with a gang, you really don't understand it. So why is that not how everything is looked at? If this is not what you do, then how can you have a conversation with me about it if it's not what you do? You can only have a conversation with somebody that is into what you do, right? Or that's privy to knowing the ins and outs of what you do.
Right,
So
right.
that was my overall thing. You know what I'm saying? Just like with blogging, everybody don't know what blogging is, right? But everybody want to speak on it. But how can you if that's not what you do?
Right. Right. I get it.
Gang stuff, hell, like I told y'all, I ain't in no gang. And again, I'm not even privy to know, and that's how it's supposed to be. But still, how can you speak on it? Because if you are not privy to knowing the ins and outs of it,
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. I ain't in no game, you know, but you know, I know a little bit.
not little Teresa
But
Marshmallow. Tell me she about to cry. You know you ain't about to cry, girl. And what she mean she about to go to sleep in the middle of the day?
cause she got she on a crazy little schedule, but
Oh,
she
oh,
technically
she a
not.
night shift. Look at us getting in Latrice business.
Yeah, she can't have. But uh, I don't. With me, I'm gonna tell you with me, man. It's just, and I'm pretty sure you realize that already. With
Hold on,
me,
hold on. Let me answer this question real quick. Hold on. I had just moved my screen. He said, nah, because you said, how is that any different from what you doing for your job, which is pulling paperwork? Then you said, doesn't that mean they're doing the same? So I asked if they're pulling paperwork also. No, no, no. So what I use that to say that people that voice their opinion about what I do, you can't really have an opinion on what I do to say it's wrong or whatever if you don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't come check a gang member about, like, for example, I can't go check King Von again, rest in peace to him. You know, I can't go check King Von about doing what he did to go to PC on some gang shit if I'm not in the game. So you can't go check somebody that, again, if you don't have to agree with any job that anybody does, but it's always a job. So you can't come check somebody that do what they do if that's not what you do, right? Now, for example, I'm just gonna use 1090J. 1090J does what I do as far as paperwork. You know what I'm saying? He could come say something like, "Yo, that's not even that the right stuff." You know why? Because he does what I do. When me and Marita Boy had our little back and forth on this on the channel, right? My whole thing was he took it as shade, but I was just being for real. You can't talk to me about pulling paperwork if you don't pull paperwork, right? Like that's the same thing. That's really what I'm trying to get to. Like you can't really check somebody if you don't do the same thing that they do. Because at that point, then you're just talking. The same way people say stay out of street shit. Like you can't talk on street shit. And my whole rebuttal, on the internet. We're not on the streets. You get what I'm saying?
right, but yeah, it's like I say, that's most definitely up for debate. But like I was saying, with me, I'm a I'm a realist, and and what a realist mean, no matter what I believe or no matter what I stand on, I still understand the realness of the situation. So if I'm I'm not a gang member, but you know what I'm saying. If you ask the police in my city in my neighborhood that have patrolled when I was in the street, they'll tell you different.
I see you out here
But
gang gang.
like I was saying, we don't bang gangs and shit. You know what I'm saying? We neighborhoods.
But
But
that still would be considered. Don't that they still classify y'all that as that?
we still labeled as a gang.
Okay.
A gang is a group of people in the up under organized label,
Mm-hmm.
organized name. You know
Right.
what I'm
Cause that's
saying?
why I don't call my truth team a gang. We're a team. 'Cause I know people-
But like if a gang member checking PC, yes, that's against the code. But when I say I'm a realist, if I know your life in danger, I don't expect you to be a crash out dummy. And just because you in the game, go crash out and die. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
right.
go ahead and go in PC and take your leap. From when you get out of PC, whatever your gang got going for you, but you were still alive. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
like the dumbest shit I ever did when I was younger. I had a girlfriend in the same hood I was telling you about I went in beef with. Right after that, a year later, I had a girlfriend that lived, her auntie lived there. So that's the only time I could see her if she go to her auntie house. So the only time I could see her if I go to the enemy territory. So I used to go at night, like 2 in the morning. So I went there. But the dude that called us, one of the dudes that called us at that motherfucker, he didn't have a problem with me. He had a problem with my cousin. So he finna shoot my cousin, like, bitch, we finna kill this nigga. On the script, I'm like, look, don't shoot my cousin, bro. Like, I'd rather you shoot me than shoot my cousin type shit. Right?
Right.
Now, because my loyalty for him was so strong. But now that I'm a adult, I know that was the dumbest shit I could have said. And I said that to go back to it resemble a person being in the gang that loved the gang and abide by the gang rules. Yeah, you supposed to take your lick and whatever happens under the gang rules, but technically that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's a rule, that don't mean it's right.
Right.
You know, and that's how I look at shit. That's why I say him being King Von, he was wrong, but I understand it. You know, because if he was a regular civilian, it would be nothing wrong with that.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know, so shit. We need O Block to speak on this situation. What the fuck is
Look, Trap in the
break it
building.
down?
Trap. What you think about it? What you think about the King Von situation? No, maybe. Oh, that's
So,
funny.
you
But
know,
I get what you're saying though.
what iceberg at? What the fuck iceberg? This nigga be motherfucking uh this nigga education purposes what this shit is. Motherfucking nigga be GD down.
He was in the chat for a minute.
I can't hold on. I'm driving, so hold on. Y'all can still hear me?
Yeah, for them. For them.
Yeah,
Where for them at?
iceberg be on phone now. And his ass ain't nowhere to be found when we talk about phone now.
But he
Oh yeah,
was in the chat for a minute.
oh yeah. We talked about that trap. You probably would miss it. We
What we
talked about
talked
that.
about?
The track. Talking about he gave away 15 million Melly money and finna give away another bill. Got one more to go. Yeah, you know, man. That shit ain't. But like I said, that is something that's up for debate though. That can be debatable. That's a good debatable.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem. It shouldn't even be debatable.
It shouldn't be, but it come back to being a realist though.
Yeah,
Like
because
just
see, my whole thing is it's like this. You can't want somebody not to speak on your expertise or your area of business, right? Whether it's a gang or whatever, but then at the same time flip it and say, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. Like, what is it? Are you over here on the policing side, or are you in the gang, or are you in the streets? Because let it make sense. And that's one thing. And my dad taught me that when I was younger. Like at the end of the day, you can't knock somebody for doing a job. You just got to do your job better, where their job don't interact with your job. If that makes sense.
right, right, facts, facts.
And that's why I say, look, shout out to my daddy, okay? Because that's the really street dude I ever met. Because he definitely taught me a long time ago, principle over politics. Okay, that's why I don't get involved with politics. But since, like I said, a lot of this I've never faced in real life, right? Um, I started facing a lot of the, I guess, the antics of politics of street life online, and I thought that was crazy. Okay, so like I said, civilian, I've never heard that word in the context that it is used online because we don't say it. So it's like I learned a lot, and it just had me like questioning some things. Like, yo, at what point do people really understand the internet is its own thing alone? Like, it has nothing to do with, it's like the cyber world is differently compared to real life. Like, people take so much
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
like they believe
And
so
then
much of
at
what
the
you see
same time, too,
online.
you got so many opinions that can't relate to the subject that
Mhm.
9 times out of 10, a lot of time, majority always overruled. So sometimes it be things that was overruled that isn't right. It just majority spoke.
Gotcha. And Pat, you got a point. I like what you said. For sure. Like that, I just don't be getting it. It's like, and that's like one of my key thing. I always say the streets don't belong on the internet. Cause like when I first started doing YouTube, that was a lot of things. They be like, you ain't street to talk about that. Like, bro, I'm on the internet. I'm not in the streets talking about nothing. What are you talking about? Why are you on here talking about anything like that? Right. And then why, okay, so let me ask everybody this. Why do people think, right? Because a lot, we don't know each other in real life. Well, most of us don't know each other in real life, right? But how do people take what people see on the internet to give street credibility? I always thought that was funny. And I to just take it just from a personal level. People love to tell me what I am or what I'm not. Like, you don't even know me in real life. Like, like what?
Yeah,
Like,
motherfuckers.
why do you think, because what? Because I say I watch Law and Order seasons 1 through 26, that means I'm a square or I'm green? Like, how? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I mean? What does what I portray or what I show online mean anything about anything? And that's with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like Music
I just,
101, you might be a mall boss. We don't know, but who's to say you're not?
right. And see, that just go back to because we so judgmental.
Mm,
We so judgmental and we think we know a person by what we see or what we hear. And that's why a lot of people get betrayed too on this shit because they be thinking they got a friend because they done talked to them on live 2, 3 motherfucking times. And oh shit, we locked in. Bitch, we locked in well. We ain't even been close enough to locking. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So, motherfuckers gotta separate the differences. And that's one thing too that I constantly, pride myself on and pride my OGs before me. Man, and my big brother, man, niggas wasn't no internet niggas like, and the internet wasn't even really popping like that back then. But they was still moving. The way they was moving, you would know that if they wasn't around internet time, they still wouldn't have been on this shit. Cause they was
Right.
really involved. You know what I'm saying? Like my big brother, I didn't know this nigga sold drugs until a couple weeks before he killed himself to collect this money from other people that owed him money. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? He was one of the biggest. So with that being said, it's like real OGs, they ain't on no internet. Real gangsters and street niggas, they is not on no internet. They ain't doing no internet shit.
facts.
And and if they is on the internet, they not talking about no street shit. It's just point blank.
Exactly.
They
Yeah,
doing
you're
internet
right.
shit.
You're right about that.
Yeah, man. My brother used to, man, we used to go out to eat. My brother used to give me the money while we get in the car to pay for everybody because he didn't want to pull the money out. because he didn't want to put the money out and make himself look obvious.
Mm.
He had a big ass chain, outplane chain with our hood name in the middle of that bitch. Motherfucker asked him, "What you do?" Well, I play baseball. I'm a baseball player. Like, he ain't trying to look like no gangster. Cause the real gangsters ain't trying to be seen as a gangster.
Right.
But now
All
we
in the
got these niggas.
videos.
Right. We got these niggas now get on their bitch and turn their gangster up on the internet.
Okay. So
And that's the crazy part.
yeah, and that's the part that really don't be making sense to me because I just be like, yo, how can you sit here and even compare anything on the internet? Like anybody can be perpetrating on the internet. So how do you even know it's real? You know what I'm saying? And that'd be my thing, like why I don't believe in court proceedings that social media should be held like that. Now, granted, don't get me wrong, people do overshare on the internet. I'm not about to sit here and say it, but at the same time, why is it held in context all the time? I can go on and say I just dropped 10 mil on something.
Right.
People gonna either say you cap or like, oh, you got money. You won't know. I just said it. You know what I'm saying? Like the only person that know is me.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, I think just a lot of because some like I'm all for content, but I just be wanting to put like make it make sense. That's why like I done got kind of lenient, but I don't be liking the foolery sometimes because like how can you really like what was the thing get can't get right? What was his name though? It was Kane something. Like how he
Okay.
came in just like, oh y'all know this, y'all dumb if y'all don't see this. But you don't even
Right.
got a leg to stand on. So like how can you have be in a conversation, right? Or even feel like your input is needed if you don't even know what you're talking about.
Right.
Even on the internet. Like
And
if you
that's
don't know what you're talking about, I'm not about to jump in a conversation like really, especially with some like you dumb and I don't even know what I'm talking about.
and that's majority of the people on the internet though, man. Like listen, I sit back and I tell myself every night, like, man, do you know? Listen, I block over 50 people a day, just by
Got
making
motion.
dumb comments. Because how it's like sometimes people may come in and be wrong, and that's cool. But when you come in such of a manner, trying to be smart and
Mm.
downplay somebody else, that's my issue.
Yeah, I definitely feel the same way about that. And see, when I started online, I used to be like, yo, I want y'all to prove me wrong, but you got to come with your facts, right? And that's when the whole Mickey Facts thing, shout out to Skull Gang for that, right? Because, like, because I'm going to show you where I got my answer from now. Again,
Right.
I'm not going to say I'm not wrong. However, I'm going to show you a trail to why it's plausible or why I feel like this is definitely the right answer. I'm
Right.
never going to say, believe me, believe what I'm saying to you, right? So that's why when a lot of people, the trolls come out, I be like, yo, I don't be stunning it no more because I be like, yo, at the end of the day, my trail is there. Like no one can never say. 'Cause I remember one time they said I was a undercover federal agent. Like it'd be crazy, but anyway, and I just be like, well, I'm doing a shitty ass job being undercover.
Right.
So I just don't be thinking like people really be thinking about it. But although, and I always lead with entertainment purposes, again, we don't know. I'm just gonna say in general, most of us don't know these people we talk about. And I never had an issue from the people I talk about. It's always a fan or like a viewer that has the issue. The people that's being talked about, mine is a few, really don't care.
Right.
So it's like, how do we care more than the person?
Because that's the internet. That's the motherfucking internet. Motherfucker got an opinion, and that's all they got is an opinion. So they voice it.
Mm.
So It's like, man, shit, man.
Not Trap Talk talking about no comment that, and he always have all the comments. But I did realize Trap Talk is dark skin. Normally he give me dark skin energy.
Yeah, he
You
most
know
definitely
them
dark skin.
chocolate ones think they rule the world with an iron fist. So it made sense. It made sense. I got to give him the dark pass because I don't know. Trap talk. I don't know. It's just something about now I'm not about to talk about trap talk. I had to realize I just said his name. I don't want him to snipe my people out the chat by me thinking I'm talking about him. But just in general, right? Lately have you noticed it's more people that's wanting to do paperwork? Have you noticed that?
Yeah, cause they see what's going on.
So let me ask you this. Now I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't per se say you're a paperwork person, but you do be wanting to see it. I wouldn't consider you like a person that run paperwork.
Right.
However, if you did run paperwork, right, would you think it would just be? Do you think it's easy to run paperwork, like to actually do it? Do you think it's easy?
Now, just reading it is not easy because it's a lot. Just know what I'm saying? Because first, like I said, first off, you gotta know how to get the paperwork.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to get the paperwork. And then you gotta not just reading it, you gotta understand what you're reading.
Hmm.
You gotta be able
So
to understand what you're reading.
So if you are able, because again, I say it all the time, anybody can go pull it for sure, but understanding it and saying it is different. However, for those who see it's done, right? Because again, you talk about paperwork all the time, you don't really run it. You definitely take the key points of it to verify whatever you're saying and do it.
Right.
Um, would you like what type of advice would you give to somebody that's either switching over to wanting to run paperwork or coming up to do it? Because I think a lot of people think it's easy. What advice would you give to them? Because I say it all the time, but I want to, because you don't run paperwork, I want to hear what you have to say, but you still incorporate it. A piece of advice for everybody.
I would say you gotta love to do it or wanna do it, really wanna do it. Because if you don't, then it's gonna become a headache. Like,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't I can't imagine sitting there reading through 10, 15, 30 pages. Like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can do it, but it's not in my entrance to
Right.
do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person I let a motherfucker, okay, y'all got the paperwork. Well, y'all go ahead and drop the case. And then when y'all highlight the juicy parts, I'm gonna come and dissect that motherfucker like a worm. You know what I'm saying? And it may look like I know what I'm doing with the paperwork. Hey, I just got the juicy part, and I always been like that, period, when it comes to reading. I'm the type of motherfucker I would scan words. And if I don't see, if I just say if I got a question and I gotta go in the book and find that answer, I will scan the page until I see words around what I need. So I can't even mentally even cope doing paperwork. But if you're gonna do it, you gotta want to do it. That's something that gotta be your passion. And
Right.
also, you know, um, you gotta be dedicated, man. Cause it's a lot of hard work goes into that shit. Motherfuckers think you just be reading. No, you gotta get the paperwork. You gotta know what you read, and you gotta know what to look for. Also, if you don't know what you're looking for, that just like a lot of your shit won't be credible because you could get bullshit paperwork.
Facts.
So
So,
it's a lot going to that shit, man.
So how would you tell? Because I got a point of why I'm asking you that. Because if I say it, they be like, "Uh." So for a person, right, that doesn't do paperwork, but you still incorporate in what you do as a content creator, what would you advise somebody that's not as diverse and actually running paperwork correctly, but want to utilize it to grow as a content creator?
What would I tell them?
Yeah, because I think right now with the influx of the whole snitching epidemic and everybody wanting to do it, right? Or want to feel like the only way to be a part of it is to like say they're a paperwork, like say they run paperwork, but that's really you don't got to do that to do it because then it's just you know what I'm saying. Um, and I feel like people think because they know how to create, say, a Pacer account, right? And they can go click on a document that now they're able to run a paperwork party. And that's
Right.
not that, right? Because there's more to it than just going to get a document. So for content creators that want to get on board of the snitch wave, I guess, right? Um, but is don't really understand what you have to do as far as doing paperwork, what would you tell them to do to still being able to be a part of it? Because, like I said, you're definitely not a paperwork person, but you incorporate it and you do well. So, like, how would you tell them to like utilize it, but not per se say that's what they do and then make their brand look bad?
I would say, do what I do. Shit, link with somebody that know what they doing.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta get your advice and your guidance from somebody that know what they doing. That's the only way, like for real, because like you said, motherfucker really don't do it, but they infiltrate it into their content. They might mislead the people somehow.
And that's it. And see, that's where I was going with it. I say it all the time because I've noticed I'm getting a lot of people hitting me up about verification of stuff, right? And I be like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I got enough going on, let alone trying to, verify stuff. And then I just feel like if some people take that approach by not per se pulling or saying they do paperwork and just go with verification of, where the juice of it comes from and then just doing your content is way better than, for example, getting paperwork and say, for example, you don't really understand it, you put it out, it really comes with something. Like, although it really does, you can get, deal with legal matters if you freaking put out the paperwork on the wrong person and say it wrongly. Look at
Right,
Tasha K and Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I just feel like as a content creator, especially those that really don't understand it, like just incorporate it to fit you, but not per se do something that you are don't do. Like you'll never the reason why I don't do gang stuff because I don't know it. You get what I'm saying?
right,
I know a basis like, basis of like what to expect or what not to really get involved in, but I'm never gonna do gang content. Like I would never do like a Chirac type situation. I don't understand it enough to do it. Now, will I update a case? Yeah, because that's what I do. I do cases. I do paperwork, but I'm not gonna get into like politics because that's not what I do. Matter of fact, I don't get into actual politicians because I don't do political stuff. That's not my area of expertise. And I'm never gonna go and critique somebody that does it because it's not my lane. Like I don't even like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't tell you how to do a political piece if I don't do political pieces.
facts. Right.
So
Yeah, that's
look,
fact.
I did a little brief interview. Y'all, my day done went past fast. It's almost 5 o'clock.
Yeah, that's most definitely facts, man.
Look, maybe people will understand it since you said it. Cause when I be saying people don't be getting it. And it be like they be trying to say it's shade. It's not shade. Cause trust me, I ain't had really no sleep since November. I take naps. This and I used to always say I'm not like just a YouTuber. I'm a researcher because paperwork come with research. Okay,
Right.
you can you imagine? right? Saying that you do paperwork, you pull out a document that say, um, okay, let's just say that Mickey stole $1 million, right? That's what the document say. However, it was an error, right? 5 pages down or 5 documents down, it corrects it and said no, it was $100. And then you come as a content creator and put that document out and run it, right? And then that's basically a lie. You just put out a false information, right? Because you didn't even add the disclaimer to at this time, this is what it said. You ran it as what it was. Then if you get your channel taken, if you get legal matters, then you want to blame somebody else. But who really is to blame in those type of situations? The content creator. You gotta be responsible for your own content. So I say that just to like everybody as my piece of advice, because a lot of people I be seeing like I be trying to show love to people, but I do see pages that people send to me that's probably not doing it right in my opinion. But hey, that's your lane. I'm not gonna unless you come to me or we cross paths somehow and I kind of tell you I'm not gonna take time out, because then people are like, oh, you're hating on them. But hey, just stick to your lane, man, and just do it to what you understand because it's definitely cost. Trust me. Like man, don't think going to get a public document from a database is the end of the road. It's definitely more to it. It's more things that come with it, um, including legal matters. Okay, including legal matters. So that's just my advice to everybody. But look, I got 30 more minutes in my work day. I'm about to get up off of here and finish up my work because I sure ain't been doing nothing. So y'all, I'm about to exit out. Music, you still there? I don't know if music's still on, but my
You heard
people.
me?
Oh no, I ain't hear what you saying.
I say, yeah, salute. Salute. I'm finna get out there motherfucker too. I
Yeah,
appreciate you for pulling up.
definitely, yo. I will be live later on tonight because I'm gonna go ahead and break down that video with the Carly Russell and do an update on that later on since we basically covered the Melly situation now. So I'll see y'all on live tonight, but I'm out of here. Music gang, y'all be easy. Don't get no Ricos. Okay. Bye, y'all.
All right.